fantasy football.
It's my quarterback. If you guys do that, man, it's unfair.
How's your fantasy team looking this year?
I won $1 million.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
You're listening to my Fantasy Life podcast. I'm Brady Novak, and I approve what I just said.
My Fantasy Wife podcast.
Style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable.
Blair.
I watched 40 minutes of Space Jam this weekend. It's 40 minutes of my life. I'm not going to get back.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Gary.
They had already announced he was leaving. He just didn't want to wait out the 30. You know, when you quit a job, you got to give him 30 days or whatever.
2 weeks. You've never had a real job, have you?
No.
He is the man in the fantasy world.
Drew.
You're not a Peyton Manning fan.
I'm not a Manning fan.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
Lewis.
You love Burger King.
Yeah, I like Burger King.
Yeah.
Not the game. We're talking about practice, man.
You're listening to My Fantasy Wife podcast. www.myfantasywife.com.
Welcome, listeners, to My Fantasy Wife, the weekly sports meets comedy meets marriage podcast, where a husband and wife discuss sports, fantasy leagues, and their impact on pop culture and relationships, including their own. I am the wife, comedian Blair Postman. Hey. I'm joined by my husband and sports stat expert, Gary Hames.
Hey.
We're also joined by Hot Topics and social media maven, comedian and pet nurse, Drew Harrison.
Hello.
And rounding things out, sound engineer, comedian, and man about town, Mr. Louis Bishop.
Hey.
No hay for him?
Yeah.
Hey.
What is he, a horse?
Okay, to never miss our weekly episodes and extras, subscribe in iTunes, Stitcher, or YouTube. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at My Fantasy Wife Podcast, Twitter at My Fant Wife, and support the podcast by liking and rating us in iTunes. Miss any of that? Then go to our website, myfantasywife.com, with links to everything. Gary?
Yeah.
Tell us about this week's sponsor.
Blair?
Yes.
This week's sponsor is Dead Crow Comedy Room.
Shut the front door.
Dead Crow Comedy in Wilmington, North Carolina, has weekly events featuring local and regional comedians, like Free Comedy Bingo every Tuesday, hosted by our own Louis Bishop and in-booth sidekick Lou Morgante, as well as nationally touring comics from TV and movies every weekend. Whether you're local or visiting Wilmington, North Carolina on your beach vacation, be sure to check them out at deadcrowcomedy.com. That's deadcrowcomedy.com.
Boom, boom, boom. It was a little early.
Sorry. I read slowly.
All right.
So when you say Lewis is a sound engineer, are you saying that he engineers sound, or are you saying that he's a competent engineer?
Well, I'm saying Choo Choo Charlie was an engineer. No, I don't. I don't know what you mean.
Sound, like a sound.
No, I mean he engineers the sound.
Sound, okay.
Or you might call it the soundscape.
So it's not a compliment; it's just a description of his.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But he is a sound engineer.
Right. Okay.
That sounds like a musical.
Yes, it does. Hey, Gary, how you
the
doing?
The hills are alive with the sound of engineering.
Okay. We'll work on that.
All
right. Drew, how you doing?
Doing great.
Did you have a nice weekend?
I did.
You look very chipper.
I'm very chipper today.
Oh, okay. Any special reason or just fun chipperness?
Just, had a good show last night.
Generalized chipperness.
Yeah.
Yeah, some good shows.
Life is okay right now.
And Mr. Louis Bishop, you're our philanthropist of the week. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Philanthropist of the week.
Yes. Yeah, that's we're going to add that in. That's our new segment.
We could just go by the initials, POW. He's a POW.
Yeah. No. But he did a big fundraiser comedy show for a domestic violence shelter here in Wilmington last night that Drew and I also were on. But he did all the organizing and all the stuff, and it was raised some money. It was good, and it was a good show.
Lewis was a POW, and he had that watch, and he wanted to be able to give it to his son, so he hid it in the only place a man could hide a watch. And he kept it there for 5 uncomfortable years. And then he died.
What is this?
And I kept that watch for 2 uncomfortable years.
What is this supposed to be from?
It's
you know what it's from.
It's my movie.
It's from Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Oh, I I haven't seen it since because all the terrible things I couldn't watch it again.
And also it's a scene from the new hit musical on Broadway.
Yes.
The Sound Man.
Okay.
All right.
He's a sound man.
Yes, the all pan flute musical.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You would like that, Gary.
Yeah.
Wow. We're off to a rousing start here today.
It's cast completely by guinea pigs.
Okay. So it does sound like that South Park episode. You're correct. Okay. So upcoming guest this week, episode 122. I'm going to keep doing that because I'm amazed.
There's no freaking way. I wish you'd cut this bullshit
and
out.
That doesn't include the Lost episode. 122.
The Lost episode.
It's a whole thing.
Where our plane crashed on a beach and inexplicably we all survived and saw a dinosaur.
No, please. We got to move
Lost
forward.
episode.
We got to move forward. This week, episode number 122, comedian and writer Emily Winter, who hopefully is going to inject a little energy and excitement. And then upcoming later this month, Alicia Hush and Ryan Connor. So that's very fun. Woo! All right, guys. So normally, about now, we do some fact checking. But Mr. Wills Maxwell is at his dream gig. All weekend long, Wills Maxwell has been doing comedy shows at the Raleigh Comic-Con. And we may never see him again.
Is that where all the comedians are con artists?
No, it's all about like comic book and graphic novels and then
Con Air jokes
and and related movies.
Yeah,
and that's kind of his jam. So he's been excused for he said that he couldn't call in, but that he didn't hear any mistakes last week. But I thought that maybe that wasn't 100% true because it was mostly about Game of Thrones. And
do you think he's conning us?
I think he is conning us. The reverse con, the long con. I think he doesn't really watch Game of Thrones, which is a little weird for a Comic Con guy to not be into Game of Thrones. But it also costs money to be able to watch Game of Thrones. So
Are you saying he's a poor nerd?
No, I'm saying. Well, I mean,
Well, he is.
He's selective.
He's a good nerd, but he's poor.
Right.
He's a poor good nerd.
Here we are again, back to the sound man. Okay,
right. A poor good nerd.
Oh boy. Oh, which word are we modifying?
Do you think Ryan Connor is ever laying around at his house in the afternoon and there's a knock at the door and he opens it up and it's Arnold Schwarzenegger standing there in a pair of sunglasses and he goes, Ryan Connor?
And how long do you think you've been saying that joke to me?
I don't know.
Would you say about 13 years?
And then he just shoots him?
I feel like you know an exact
I feel like it's
I don't think I've ever said that to you before.
Yes, you have.
No.
It's just been a while.
You are simply
been
jealous
while.
that I thought of it.
Okay. Whatever it takes. So anyway, good luck to Mr. Wills Maxwell. So we're not going to have a lot of fact checking, I guess is what I'm saying.
And by not a lot, you mean zero?
By zero fact checking.
So basically we can just say whatever the hell we want.
No, and there's no repercussions.
Right, and we don't have to be corrected on next week's show. Is that what you're telling me?
No, next week you will be corrected.
Oh, so we could say whatever we wanted last week, but you didn't tell us, so I wasted the opportunity.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Fine.
But we do have some actual.
Well played, Blair.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite a planner. But we do have quite a bit of hot topics, real actual hot topics, I think. So, is this my hot topics music?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Hot topics. Can we? We'll start amazingly enough with Wimbledon.
That's a tennis tournament.
That happened again?
Tennis tournament is happening now. I believe the men's final is today. And Drew, can you look up who is in the men's final?
Federer won.
He did win.
He did win.
And who was he playing?
That guy.
What's his name? Because we don't know.
Marin Cilic.
And he
won in straight sets. It wasn't even a thing.
Okay, but can you look up for me? Here's the thing for our purposes here at the podcast. That's nice for him. But an American who was not Jack Sock.
Query.
Yes, Query.
John.
No. What's his first name?
I'm going to find out.
Okay, but Query beat Andy Murray in the, I think, semifinals.
Well, I mean, Andy Murray sucks.
Andy Murray's the defending champion, isn't he?
He got lucky.
He doesn't suck.
He doesn't suck. But anyway,
Drew could beat Andy Murray's 40 times.
I guess what I'm getting at here is we've often discussed that there are
Sam Query.
Okay, that there's American men's tennis doesn't seem to have anyone, and the only one who was ranked in the top 100
I
was
bet you
Jack
$1 million.
Sock. Now this guy's ranked 21 or 24.
I bet you $1 million right now he never wins another match.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why is
Query?
Because how old is he?
He's like in
He's
his
like
20s.
48.
No, he's not.
All the American tennis players that were good used to be good when they were 17. Like, you were over the hill if you didn't win a match until you were...
the athletic life is long. I mean, how old is Federer? They were saying, oh my God, he's so old. And
once you get good, you can play a long time. I mean, Jimmy Connors won the U.S. Open at like
Sam
35.
Querrey is 29 years old.
He's 29.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Well,
they wouldn't have let it. He couldn't have gotten into Nick Bollettieri's Tennis Academy 10 years ago, much less now. He's too old.
In 2011, he was the highest ranked he's ever been, and it was 17.
Okay.
And he looks very old, too. You know, he looks 40. He's 6'6". That's giant for...
that is giant. That is...
He's currently ranked 60th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope, that's in doubles. 28th.
28th.
Yeah.
28th.
See, he's that guy. He's still got to play doubles.
You're thinking about us. Well, like, if one of us was ranked 28th in the world, that would be fantastic.
It would be fantastic.
But for terms of this discussion, it's not that good.
Okay. So
in other words, every big tournament that seeds the top 16 people, he's not seeded. He's unseeded in every big major tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. And Venus Williams lost in the finals as well.
I did not think that was going to happen.
I didn't get the woman's
Yet again,
name. But,
proving she is not her sister.
Well, I mean, she's won several times.
Well, talk about old. Like, she's got to be 80.
No, and you need to just not... no,
she's definitely older than Sam
Querrey. Women's tennis is even younger driven than men's.
I know. I'm just saying. I don't want to. You're always talking about how my women tennis players are so old, but
well,
it's
would
like
she have? Well, but
the men are old too. Like Federer's
I know
old.
it's because there's never any new tennis players coming along.
Muguruza,
but handsome.
But you see, I find that interesting because a while ago,
are you saying she's a handsome woman?
No, I was saying the men were.
Garbine Muguruza.
Okay. Well, what I thought was interesting, like after Tiger Woods really, before the whole, fall from grace or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that was more than a fall. That was a disaster.
But people were like starting to put their children more into individual sports like golf and tennis, so they could just, not have to worry about a whole team and a whole thing, that they could like control their destinies and start them young and not have to worry about any other, big machinations.
I wish I would have played tennis.
And so I would have thought more
boxing. That's what you need to do.
more.
I got enough hits to the head.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've proven you can take them. I guess I'm surprised that trend didn't, yield more tennis players. I guess
millennials are not willing to work hard enough
in England.
To get good.
What'd you say?
I don't think millennials are willing to work hard enough to get good.
So you think this is a generational thing?
Yeah,
American generation?
Yeah,
It very well could be.
And really?
I think so. I mean, I don't think.
But they're in other sports.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I think no one.
It's more sexy. Other sports are more sexy.
Yeah.
Other sports, they come from poverty many times, and tennis is more of a country clubbish sort of thing. Those kids aren't as driven.
But I don't feel like there's a new up-and-coming basketball player working as hard as LeBron did to get to where he's at.
All right. Okay, so millennials are destroying American sports.
Yes.
Discuss tennis. And possibly basketball.
I don't think the country club set works as hard as they used to.
And also, you have a higher chance. You have more people on the team for basketball or football for one of them to break out. In tennis, the most you can have on the court is 4 at one time. So.
But look at Sam Querrey. The highest he ever got was 17th in the world. His total prize money to date is $8 million.
I would wipe my butt with $8 million. Get out of my face with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would take $8 million, and I would not do that.
I did not
with
mean
it.
to offend you, Mr.
I would not do that with it. I would save some of
What
it
a
and spend some of
wasted
it.
life, Sam.
Mediocre boxer, MMA fighter gets his ass beat for 30 seconds one time, $100 million.
Are you saying that? Are you trying to rabble rouse Drew over there?
Not rabble rousing. That just seems to be the expectation coming out of this.
All right,
I heard what they said on ESPN when I was driving around this morning. They were comparing it to a woman's softball team playing professional baseball.
Well, hold that thought, because our guest Emily Winter was very into fast pitch.
He was saying
softball.
how it would look alike. Like you had 9 people on the field in the same positions, and the pitcher pitching and the batter batting would look alike, but that's the difference in actual performances. Is not the same sport.
Between MMA and boxing?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Now, I thought that was a little excessive of a comparison, but I get the point.
Roger Federer has made $107 million.
Yeah. Here's a serious question for you. Who's the oldest woman to have won a major tournament, and how old is Venus Williams now?
I know how old Venus Williams is. I was going to ask you, how much older is she than Serena? Let's see if you guys are close.
She's probably 2 or 3 years older than Serena.
23 years older.
23 years. Okay, good.
2 or 3 years older is my guess.
2 or 3. Drew, any guess?
I'm going to say 4.
She's only 2 years older, but we view her as such an older.
I don't.
Well, how old is she?
37.
Yeah, I wonder.
Venus Williams tried to become the oldest Grand Slam winner.
That's what I'm
failed.
saying. She would have been the oldest Grand Slam winner.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, guys, can we have a change of topic music? Yeah. Thank you. All right, guys, a little bit of baseball. Okay. Besides just the Atlanta Braves score, which you guys can give me later.
6-0.
Couple of fun things. How about that home run derby?
That was
quite a derby.
freak of
Was it
nature.
Mr. Judge? Is that his name?
Aaron Judge.
And did he score 23 home runs?
In the first round? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
In the first round? And was there someone right behind him who scored 22?
And was quite ahead of him most of that time and looked like he was going to lose.
He just turned it on. Because Stanton lost in the first. Everyone wanted to see Stanton versus Judge in the finals, and Stanton lost in the first round.
Who does Mr. Stanton play for?
The Marlins.
Oh.
And it was at Marlin Stadium, so he was a home crowd.
Well, that didn't work out then.
Well.
And were there any other fun takeaways from the All-Star game?
The AL won again for
And
the
so-
6th straight year.
And so they get, is it home?
No, they did away with that rule.
Okay.
Because that's the most ridiculous rule in the history of sports.
Because, like, nobody cares about...
But I kind of liked it. I don't know.
I liked it. I mean, I wish they'd, play naked. I'd like it, but like it wouldn't lead to better
Would
baseball.
you like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I would be afraid the
That
whole
would be
time.
no sliding.
I
at
would.
that
Yeah,
point.
that would interfere with gameplay
Just
to a
saying.
degree that.
Do you still get to wear your cup?
Yeah,
Or you
I
get-
hope
Liking
so.
a rule and it being
I
a
hope
good
so.
rule are not the same thing. That's all I'm
Okay.
saying.
I would at least.
So
need
what do
a
you just
sports
get your
bra.
team tattooed across your chest?
Yeah.
Right, and your number.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You're just on that team for life.
Right. It cuts
Yeah,
down on
trades
the,
are,
You can really
well,
build a franchise.
You could do like
move to tattoos.
yeah. You could do like swimmers do. With that
The
pin.
grease paint?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get
do
traded,
that,
you put
yeah.
a big red circle with a line through it, and then tattoo the new team on your back.
Right.
But
Nice.
where's your number go?
Well, you're going to accumulate some ink
Yeah.
in that way.
I like the as someone that's not a fan of baseball on TV. Well, I like listening to baseball on the radio. It's weird. I don't know. I think it's maybe it's not the baseball. Maybe it's the commentator.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
soothing.
soothing. It's very soothing.
Yeah.
It's like Bob Ross in the painting.
Especially
Very
if you listen
soothing.
to Vince Scully or something like that.
I
Yeah.
have no idea who that is.
Voice of the Dodgers.
Well, he just
former
retired.
voice of the-
yeah,
yeah.
just retired. We did a whole show about it.
Yeah.
Did we?
Well, we did a part of a show about it. Yep,
But I felt that it was like the only
whole show.
kind of all-star game that really mattered. Like the home field advantage thing was cool to me.
Yeah, I
but
hate that they got rid of it.
Yeah, but it's just odd. It's odd if you get to the World Series and you have a way better record than the other team. The home team wins 77% of World Series games. I heard that the other day. So if you have a 20-game record better than the National League champion, but they've got the home field advantage and the home field team wins 77% of the time because a bunch of guys that aren't playing in the game determine the way it is, I'd be mad. Like if I was on the team that
They
didn't have
need to
it,
suck it up.
I'd be mad.
All right. Okay, guys, but also another thing happened in baseball.
No, it did not.
Yes, it did.
Nothing else happened.
Somebody named Cody Bellinger, who plays for the Dodgers, hit for the cycle.
He's a rookie, too.
Is he your favorite?
I don't think.
Tell me there are 5 favorite facts about Cody Bellinger.
He's a rookie.
That's your favorite
He plays
thing about
for
him?
the Dodgers.
Okay.
Within the last couple days, he hit for the cycle.
Right.
He's the first rookie to ever do so.
No.
And he
that's not true.
has a really nice dog.
He's the first Dodger
That
rookie
might
to
be
hit
true.
for the
Oh, excuse me. He's the first Dodger to hit for the cycle. And that means he hit a single, a double, a triple, and a home run in one game.
I was going to ask what that was.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yes.
Yeah, look at me over here.
He's, I believe he's the 5th youngest person ever to do it.
Okay.
I think I saw that last
What
night.
do you have some other favorite facts about Cody Bellinger?
No, I just don't think
He was
you
in
know
the
who he
home
is.
run derby.
He was in the home
His
run
dad
derby.
pitched to him.
Says
His dad
Blair
pitches to
after it was said to her.
And so is that meaningful?
He's ranked number
How are the
16
Dodgers
in tennis.
in tennis?
Yeah.
He's a number 3 ranked American player.
Yeah.
Are you? Do you like the Dodgers? Are the Dodgers doing well?
Yeah, he hit Andy Murray's second serve clean out of the ballpark.
Okay. Are the Dodgers doing well?
Yeah, they're doing great.
You see, I did
A
with
lot
a
of people
slightly
are,
different inflection.
are saying they're going to make it to the World Series.
Yeah,
What's going on
they
with
have
the
a
Cubs?
new star rookie pitcher too.
What's going on with the Cubs?
Yeah,
Starting
tough bounce
pitching,
back year.
ERA at this point last year was 2.49, and this year it's 4.97. Starting pitchers are bombing,
and their hitters aren't living
Hitting.
up to expectations.
They just gave it all away in the last round. It's just interesting because you work a lot, and I just don't know where you find the time to absorb this information, because you say things like, I'm not really following baseball this year, and then you tell me that the ERA of this year versus last year of the Cubs. So it's just interesting to me.
Have you ever seen
You're like a Rain Man?
Have you ever seen a bear being harvested for its pelt,
No,
where its foot
never.
is like caught in one of those steel traps?
Oh, that's terrible.
That's my mind.
Okay. All right, Gary.
Yeah.
Is your mind the bear or the steel trap?
It's the steel trap.
Is it the innards of the bear?
Yes.
Okay.
My mind is like the innards of a bear.
All right, guys. Before
It
we call our...
hibernates during the wintertime?
Yes.
Can we
Fortunately,
have-
it's July, so.
I would like a change of topic music.
Also, Cody Behringer has amazing eyebrows. I don't know if you've ever seen this
Wait
guy.
a second. Yeah.
He's got some
Nice.
serious Bert and
Good
Ernie
looking
things going on on top of his face.
He's got a design cut in the side of his head.
He does?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I could see you doing that as a kid.
Yes, I could
Yes.
too.
Yeah, did you have a
Me?
design cut in the side of your head?
My
Yes.
mom wouldn't let me.
But he wanted
yeah,
it.
What'd you want? Like a
I would have
Sonic-
gone with like Michelangelo from the Ninja
Oh,
Turtles.
yeah, that's why I figured something like Sonic the Hedgehog or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could see him with Sonic the Hedgehog carved into his hair.
Yeah, running from one side of his head to
Right,
the
yeah.
other side.
I thought you
With
said...
a gold ring.
I thought you said Masonic the Hedgehog. I'm like, that's a very different game.
It's Lewis's favorite cartoon
It's a
character.
conspiracy theory video
Yes.
game.
He's got the Declaration of Independence under his arm, and he's running down the road.
Right, manipulating
Hey, I'm not-
currency.
everyone here's talking about the lizard people. What about them hedgehog people, huh?
Yeah, well, there you go.
Masonic the Hedgehog.
They tricked you again.
Trying to get all the gold coins. It
Sounds
makes more
like-
sense now.
It sounds like the Jewish version of.
Oh, geez.
What?
Whoa.
What?
No, oh, I'm the guy that.
Yep,
Yeah.
you're the guy.
Okay.
You're the one in...
Thank God.
I'm a little tired today. 'cause
First time in 20 months, I didn't say it.
Look, it's been a long couple of days for me, and I'm tired, but just assume that I'm very angry at you, Drew,
Okay.
and you're a jerk, and we probably have to edit you out of the entire
Okay.
episode
Okay.
now, line by line.
That's fair.
Okay. All right. Can I have a little change of topic music so we can change the topic? All right, guys. Just a quick recap before we call Emily. The Game of Thrones new season starts tonight.
I'm so excited.
Gary's going to get home about a half hour before it's released. Nobody put anything on Facebook. Just shh, quiet.
You know, people are waiting to ruin this for.
I know.
Oh, yeah. I've been
I-
reading all sorts of stuff today about how nerds are just going insane about this.
And I'm going to go look at some backstories just because I started reading them on Nerdist, and I'm like, oh, that's how the tree people so now I'm kind of in it deep. See, I could have been one of those Comic-Con kids if I had gotten exposed to it a little earlier. Game of Thrones, just the draft recap.
What's your favorite episode of Masonic the Hedgehog?
Masonic the Hedgehog. I like
His
it
Bar
when he
Mitzvah episode's a good one.
disguises as one of the founding fathers and manipulates the base of that Masonic temple in Alexandria, Virginia.
Right.
So that in 300 years in the future, he can come back and there's a secret way in that he can get all the stuff.
Right. My favorite was Adventure on Jackal Island. That was my favorite one.
Right. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, okay.
Because there's that whole Bermuda Triangle angle to that one.
Right, it's
Yeah,
good.
that's fun. Okay, guys. Game of Thrones recap. Brent has the Hound, Yara Greyjoy, Bronn, Jorah Mormont, and I think
That's
it's
a terrible team.
Dondarrion.
See, I thought he knew something about
You
this.
gave
Has
him
he
a
watched
6.
it? I know.
Yes.
I was sucking up.
All right, typical. Lewis, you have the Mountain, the Night King, Grey Worm, Robert Glover. I don't know who that is, and Clyburn, another dude I don't really
Van
know.
Cliburn, I believe it is.
No, that's not him. And then Gary, you have Jon Snow, Tyrion, Bran Stark, Peter Baelish, Brienne of Tarth.
Oh, my God. What a power-packed
Yes.
fortress of a team I have.
Blair has Dany Targaryen, Cersei, Varys, Davos, and Sansa Stark. And Drew, you have Arya Stark, Jaime Lannister, Ilaria, who I'm still not sure who she is, Tormund Giantsbane, and Lyanna Mormont, which is my favorite pick, just because she wasn't on the list, and we only saw that one time, but she is maybe my favorite character. I kind of hope they don't bring her back so they don't ruin her.
Oh, we saw her
kill
more than once.
Did we?
This is
Maybe once last year.
Ilaria, the Dorn chick that stabbed her
Oh,
dad.
yes, that's right. That's right. All right, guys. I mean, that's just it. I wanted to recap stuff. We don't have anything to really
If
talk about.
my
with
team
it
was a
today.
mode of transportation, you know what it would be?
Would it be a terrible pun?
No, it would be
Okay.
an M1A1 Abrams tank.
Okay.
That's how powerful my team is.
Okay. All right. Anything else about your
No, that's-
team
that's
and
it.
how awesome it is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, Gary.
Who's going to score first, do you think, out of all the teams?
First?
I
Because
think
there's
it's gonna-
automatic points about, getting killed and
I
sleeping
think
with
the
people.
Hound's going to kill someone
Just out of the
almost
gate.
instantly.
Maybe.
Do you think a power character will get killed in the because there's only 7 episodes?
This
Yeah, but
season,
and then they have next season.
No,
which
but
is
I'm
only
just saying.
6.
Yeah.
Like
Next
if you had
season,
20
only 6.
episodes, I think it's less likely what name character gets killed in day 1. But with only
They
7
gotta go
episodes,
balls to the wall.
I don't know.
right? That's
Start
what I'm
killing
saying.
people off.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
hope
know.
everyone's dead but the dragons at the end.
Well, that would be
Everybody.
wow.
What if the 3 women met on the shores of Westeros at the beginning of this thing tonight, and then all of a sudden the Night King just came over the hill and just killed them all?
That would make for either a very exciting or boring rest of the season.
Well, Lewis would get a lot of points.
He would get a lot of points.
There's actually, I read that on a...
on a
on
fan
Reddit,
page.
yeah.
That's why he went that way. All right, guys. We're going to call our exciting comedian guest, Emily Winter, here. And Gary, will you hold the
Yes.
the microphone
Of doom.
my fantasy? I don't know. I
Microphone
was
of
trying
doom.
to think of something.
Hello,
Hey, is this Emily Winter?
this is Emily. Hi,
Oh.
Blair. How are you?
I'm great. You're on the air with My Fantasy Wife podcast. I just like
Air.
all the comics to know that we are recording right from the beginning.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes, and we do very little editing. We're very
Okay.
excited to have you. I'm going to read a quick bio or some highlights from your website,
great.
so our listeners can know more about you. Were a script judge for NBC's Late Night Writers Workshop. You're a former staff writer at TV Land, former staff writer at Fusion's News Comedy. Come here and say that, so she can't keep a job. Co-founded and produced an international comedy festival, What a Joke, which was...
Wait a minute, is that your editorial comment, or is that the name of the thing?
Yeah, that's what the name is
Okay.
of the thing.
All right. I didn't know if you were trying to.
No,
insult
it's
her.
a whole thing. That raised $50,000 for the ACLU. You have been published in all kinds of things like Time, Split Sider, and just all kinds of. We don't know why you're on the show.
Wow.
And you've performed in all kinds of festivals: Limestone, Cape Fear Comedy Festival, Out of Bounds, Brooklyn Comedy Festival, She Devil, Cinder Block, Boston Women in Comedy Fest. Everyone, big round of applause for Emily Winter.
Wow.
Woo!
Oh, thank you. I think I did a good job on my website. That is one thing I'll say, because I'm like, oh, that sounds nice. Oh, okay.
It's a nice website.
Thank you.
Very well done. I'm going to let you know who else is here in the room with us. My husband and sports stat expert, Mr. Gary Hames.
Hello.
Hi, Gary Haynes, Mr. Blair.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
Wow.
I like that a lot. I think you should change your name.
I haven't changed my name, though.
to Gary Blair. Our 10-year wedding anniversary is coming up, and obviously my last name is Postman. But maybe you could change your last name instead of to Postman just to Blair.
I'll change my last name to Postman if you switch the initials and become Per Boastman.
I don't know, think about it, because that would be kind of fun.
I like the name Gary Blair.
It
That
is.
would
It
be
does sound
an awesome name.
It does sound classy.
It's like an 80s
Yeah.
wrestler.
It does sound like an 80s wrestler. Rhymes with flair. There's lots of good things about it.
Speedy center fielder for the San Francisco Giants, Gary Blair.
That sounds,
Hits
yeah.
for power, but runs, steals a lot of bases.
Oh, sure. Whatever your fantasy whims
like
up
it.
about it.
You've put some thought into
He,
that.
it's not the first time he's thought about that, clearly. And also with us is our Hot Topics and social media maven, comedian, and pet nurse, Drew Harrison.
Hey.
Hi, Drew.
Wow.
Wow.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if that was for me or for the listeners. so
It's
I
for
didn't-
everybody.
Wow.
It's for everybody. And rounding things out, sound engineer, comedian, and man about town, Mr. Louis Bishop.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Hey, congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. What
For anything in
what
particular?
the hell did he
Just
do?
for being a good guy.
Just for being a good guy.
Just for being
Yes.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how Blair said that we don't do very much editing, but we'll definitely have to edit out that awkward pause whenever she had to say hello to Drew.
Drew, yeah, we're sorry we left you alone.
Sorry, Drew.
She's
That's
like,
okay. I'll be outside.
We
if you need me.
metaphorically left you alone for a second with Drew. We apologize for that.
Yeah.
Emily's
Obviously.
like, these motherfuckers. You didn't tell me that Drew was going to be on the goddamn show.
I know. Well, I should have thought about that. So, Emily, we always ask our comedian guests, we don't ask them a lot about comedy. We ask them what sort of sports thing have they ever been obsessed with or involved with or maybe into now. And you told me, sometimes it's comics. So sometimes it's a little wishy-washy. And, we do get things like pinball and Dungeons and Dragons. But you were like absolutely fast-pitch softball.
Yeah, I started when I was 6, and I gave it up when I was 30 because it's so dangerous. I was playing on 11 teams in New York City, and I couldn't. Yeah, and
it sounds like you
so
had
dangerous.
a problem.
She sounds like me with the fantasy
I
football.
actually couldn't really do both softball and comedy, so it was good that I gave it up when I was 30 so that I could get some comedy work done.
How fast is the fast pitching when you're 6? Not that fast.
Oh no, that's like T-ball, and then
Okay.
the dads will slow pitch underhand, and then you start in third or fourth grade. We started doing windmill fast pitch. I have no idea if this is so boring to you guys.
No. We this is what we do. This is what we do. And so did you play on teams in high school or college and that sort of thing?
Yeah, yes and no. I played travel ball in high school.
Okay.
So we would I'm from the Midwest, so we would travel all over the Midwest. We weren't good enough to win things and travel.
Sure. Well, we get a lot of that.
The Midwest.
Right.
Is travel
touched Canada one day? That was about it.
Is travel ball a fancy word for away games? Is that what travel ball is, or is it you're on a circuit?
It's like AAU softball kind of thing.
I don't know what that is. I don't.
It's like travel ball is you try out for a bunch of teams and which teams are the best teams, and then if you make a travel team, then your entire summer is just traveling to different cities and playing their travel teams.
Oh.
So it's I know my cousin does this with hockey.
The soccer, it's big with the kids with the soccer.
So you do a circuit, right? So you do
Drew is right. It's like AAU in basketball.
Oh, okay.
So
where you're just you're the best of the best in your area, and you travel to other areas and play there.
Yes,
I got it. All right.
Like invading armies.
Got it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
got it.
But,
but
team
with
kinda
softball.
sucked.
Oh, well, you were the worst of the best. So
I
that's
was the worst of the best. That's the perfect way of putting it.
I'm kind of amazed that you were playing on 11 teams in New York City when you were 30. And P.S., you would clearly, we just scratched the surface of your comedy career. So you were very involved in comedy as well. So I don't know, how many games a week is that if you're on 11 teams?
Well, I was it would be 5 summer teams and a couple fall teams and a spring team and some winter teams. So so it was multiple teams, but that would be different.
Oh, so not all at the same time.
Not all at the same time.
Oh, so now
right.
Gary's not impressed anymore.
11 teams at the same time would be multiple games a day.
11
That's crazy.
Was my biggest season.
Which
and I
one?
was this is too much. 11 was my biggest, where
Okay.
I did 11 different teams, and that was too much. And I don't know. I feel there was a time, I didn't start doing stand-up until I was 27, so there was a time when every night was softball or comedy.
Right.
And
then comedy won.
Comedy won.
Well, you can physically age out of softball, I suppose, in a way that, as long as you can crawl on the stage, you can still do stand-up. So, as I've done more than once. Did you have, a softball hero or heroine? Somebody that you idolized?
Oh God, Jenny Finch, who you guys, I feel like she was in some movies and stuff, and
Really?
did reality TV after her softball career.
She's the most popular softball player.
Okay.
ever.
She's a very pretty pitcher, and she was very good. So I used to have fish when I was a kid, and I would name all of my fish Jenny Finch.
Wow.
Which is weird because finches eat fish in the wild. So I don't know if that's true. So she was your hero. What position did you play?
I was a pitcher.
So you were a star.
I think that's the position where if you crave attention, you gravitate toward that, right? Did you guys play baseball or softball?
I did. I played baseball.
Drew did too.
What position did you play?
I was a catcher.
You were. I feel like that's the unsung hero.
Oh, that was nice.
Thank you.
She's trying to make up for the last thing.
Right.
Yeah.
She's speaking
was
truth,
that
Blair.
Drew?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was Drew.
Then never mind.
Okay. Thanks, Blair.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for ratting me out.
And Gary, did you play? But you were a coach too. That was really
I
your claim
played
to fame.
up until I couldn't quite make the high school team. But I started when I was 5, so I played 10 years.
Yes, and Gary has some very funny stories that we've covered.
Well, the coaching stories are funnier than the playing
coaching stories when he used to coach Little League when he was in high school and college, and just degenerate it was the 1970s, early 80s, and how the father would show up drunk to the, it was very Bad News Bears.
Oh my God.
That kind of thing. Yeah, it was.
Do you feel like coaching little kids, you can tell how they're going to be when they grow up?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the great stories, we've told it before, I'm not going to tell it because Blair's rolling her eyes at me and I think she's going to divorce me, but
no, not for that.
One of the kids' fathers used to come drunk all the time, was reading poetry that he wrote at third base and missed a ground ball, and his father came out and slapped him on the field.
Oh my
so
God.
that's
And then the kid would
and then his dad volunteered to catch batting practice drunk and used no equipment, and we couldn't get him behind there, and he got hit in the head with the ball in about 5 seconds.
Oh no, was he okay? Did he have to go
He knocked him out. But yeah.
Yeah, the kid who's writing poetry and reading his poems from the infield doesn't really want to be there.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Doesn't want to be
Do you
there.
know whatever happened to that kid?
No, I have no idea. He's probably dead.
Would you stop it?
The next season, they pulled his body out of the river.
Yes.
Oh God.
Found him buried under third base.
Okay. Oh, this is terrible. People
you
are going to
wear
believe
equipment. When I was 12, I fast pitched a ball, and the umpire was not wearing a cup, and
wow,
we stopped the game. And hit him in the balls, and I didn't know what balls were, and I felt horrible. All I knew was that my pitch hurt a man's dick, and it made me feel creepy.
Sure.
So you went home and you rewrote. She went home and she rewrote that pitch, and now it makes a lot more sense, and it doesn't hurt his dick.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on, I have a question.
Different kind of pitch. Okay. Yes, Lewis.
How old were you when that happened? I'm sorry.
I was 12.
Okay, and you didn't know what balls were, but you knew that a guy had a dick. That's I don't know. That's just weird.
Well, I knew about dicks, but I didn't know.
Right.
No, I got you.
I didn't know about dicks, but then girls know about dicks, but they don't know about balls.
There's a whole nuance.
Oh, really?
There's a whole nuance of
That's odd.
You're getting
Drew's Googling that, and he's shaking his head. I don't think he agrees.
You're getting your information in dribs and drabs, if you will, and so you are. I understand what
Was
you're
that
getting at.
necessary?
No, but there it was. I don't know. I couldn't think of what else to say.
Well, when you're in 4th grade or 5th grade and they do sex ed, they're or I don't know, or whenever your mom tells you, she's the man inserts his penis, and then
right. She didn't say anything about the balls,
and so no one ever is
no one gets into
some fucking sweaty ass balls.
Right. Yeah, that information it comes in spurts. You find out.
Yes.
You find out. Some things here and some things there. Yeah.
This has really this is taking a turn. It's taking a turn.
You don't semen that often, so when you do, you learn what you can learn. Yeah, I got you.
All right. Okay, I'm sorry, Emily. It's my fault. I started it. It was my fault.
Yeah, that's on you for not
There's a
saying
vast difference between. No. Okay, never mind.
Okay, so just I am curious. Are you excited because they took softball out of the Olympics, Emily, and now it's coming back?
Oh, okay. I was that doesn't make me happy.
Well, let me be the bearer of exciting news for you. It will be back as of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. It will be back.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Are they bringing baseball back too, or just softball?
I don't know. I just looked up the softball part.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I will definitely be at bars getting drunk and really getting into it. The way people get into soccer and stuff.
Right. Overly enthusiastic about it.
Yes.
In a patriotic way. And do you miss softball?
Yeah, I miss it a lot. I actually, I just started doing some jokes about it on stage, and that's really fun. But it also makes me want to play, and yeah, I miss it a lot. But it's so in New York, because women, it's not normal for women to grow up playing fast pitch softball. So most of the leagues were co-ed, and having fast pitch softball is huge in the Dominican community here.
Okay.
And I just feel like it was these really ripped Dominican dudes that would just come out and just this so much muscle, and I'm oh, by the time you're done with your pitch, you're less than 40 feet away from this dude who has more muscle than I've ever seen in my life and a metal bat. It's just not. I've so many people have been I don't know,
decapitated.
And
yeah,
me, I'm 5'5", and I'm going up against these these super big dudes that I just feel if they took a fast pitch softball to the face probably wouldn't do anything, you know. But it's just so dangerous. So that's why I had to stop. I actually have photos of me. I can send them to you of when I got hit in the stomach with a line drive.
Oh.
When I was maybe 28 or something, and it's just an outline of a softball in black and blue.
Oh my goodness! Nice. And you can read. I don't know if it's not Spalding, but whatever it is, the brand of the ball on your stomach.
Yeah, you can see the little threads.
Now, I was looking because a lot of times we'll look for pop culture things related to whatever the sports or interests of our guests are. Not a lot of great softball movies. Not a lot of great softball movies out there. I think they played in Gung Ho. Remember Gung Ho with Michael Keaton? And it was 1980, and the Japanese were teaching him how to redo the car plant.
I do remember that movie. I don't remember any softball.
But it seems like it's more of a TV thing. I think they talked about it a lot on Seinfeld. They were playing in New York softball leagues and that kind of thing. But were there any pop culture softball influences for you?
A League of Their Own is not softball, but it's women playing baseball.
I was going to suggest that.
Yeah, close enough. Well, and my boyfriend and I just started watching Glow last night, and it feels very A League of Their Own-ish in the beginning, where the guy is all, they're the one male lead is all fucked up, and he's I guess I'll take these shitty women and see what I could do with them, and then they turn out to be wonderful,
It does. I had remarked when I first started watching that show, they reminded me of it made me think of what women in the 70s and 80s in comedy probably had to deal with, except there was no dude trying to make it work for them. So maybe A League of Their Own is more apt in that way. But speaking of A League of Their Own, we play a game based on your interest, and sometimes we'll do trivia, and sometimes we'll do who said this kind of game, and this is a little more open-ended. It's not really, a clear correct or incorrect answers, but because there weren't really any famous, softball movies out there, but a lot of famous baseball movies, I think it would be fun, and I might be wrong, to go through some of these famous baseball movies and be well, how would they be different if it was softball and women in it?
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
fun.
Bull Durham. Bull Durham, the movie?
Okay, I never watched that one.
Ooh.
But
what's a baseball movie that you have watched?
So when I was a kid, all those I'm 33, so it was Angels in the Outfield.
Sure.
And Rookie of the Year. All those kid ones were coming out, and I loved them. And Sandlot, of course.
How did Little Big League not make the list?
It's not an exclusive list. I'll ask you guys are of the same generation. You and Drew. Sorry, Drew's going to be in this part. So if you pick Angels in the Outfield or Rookie of the Year, how would it be different if it was mostly girls and softball?
Softball saves the day at the end of Rookie of the Year. Do you guys remember?
I have never seen the film. How does it save? Well, see, that is an important softball-related movie then.
The kid hurts his arm, and then he turns into an amazing baseball pitcher, but he's a little kid. He's 11 or something. And then he loses his hold on, sorry. Thank you. My boyfriend is destroying a box. Right? Okay.
Oh, nice.
So he loses his ability to pitch at the end, and then but his mom was a softball pitcher, and she was a slow pitch pitcher. So at the end, he strikes out. Oh God, spoiler! He strikes out.
I think it's a 20-year-old movie, so it's okay. I think
by floating the ball over the plate, and the baseball players can't handle it, and then the team wins and. He's a star.
Nice. So what was your movie, Drew, that you were saying? Was it the one that's not on
Big League?
Little Big League.
And what happens in that? How would it be different if it was softball and women?
His grandfather left him the Minnesota Twins. So.
Oh, well.
And he was 10 and took over the team.
Oh, well. I guess it wouldn't be that different.
I love that. Was probably one of my favorite baseball movies.
I think that'd be a great movie because then the girl, let's say, right?
Yeah.
Instead of a guy, it's a girl, and he makes the Minnesota Twins play softball, while everyone else in baseball is still playing baseball.
Right.
And they're like, "No, we're not going to play," and they're like, "No, you're going to play."
Well, I noticed a trend in some of these, in the Bad News Bears, their best pitcher was female. It was Tatum O'Neal. And so I think some of these movies, the way they would have been different is that just women, good women would have had a whole team of good women. But that's
Well, you'd love that.
Yes, I would love that. Thank you very much.
But then with the Bad News Bears, then it would be that the best player would be a guy.
Okay, so
and
the
then
best
that
player
just wouldn't work.
And then
on a team full of girls, the best player's a guy.
Yeah.
No one would like that.
No one. Yeah, that
No one would like. Yeah.
That doesn't
Yeah.
feel like a underdog
Yes,
story.
your feminist manifesto's blown up in your face. How do you feel?
Right, exactly. Exactly, it is. In Moneyball, you see, that would be nice. You could just have women in management and doing number things with math.
Right.
Women can't do math.
You're right. You're right, Gary. I'm sorry.
All right.
I would like to see a Moneyball where like they're figuring out potential, like how they could do based on like the size of women's hips.
Right.
Because, like that's such a that's where you get all your power. So like
Right.
you could do some stats about like hip to waist ratio or something.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh boy, that's the nightmare. The
I used to work in that business for 8 years.
Yeah.
that was a strip club, Lewis. That was a strip club.
It was still the same idea.
It was same idea.
Same idea.
He was swinging the bat.
Right.
All the power from the hips.
Right.
Well, do you have, and League of Their Own is obviously the closest thing. Do you have a
softball would mess that up too? Because why aren't they playing baseball? They're
well,
playing
I
softball.
mean, do you now? Let me ask you this: maybe this is controversial in the softball community. I don't know,
Yep.
but Drew's hitting upon it.
Don't put my name on this again.
Do women want to continue to play softball, or do they want to be playing baseball? Or
I think that softball is I think that they want to play softball is a better sport for women's bodies. Like I said, like with the fast pitch, like you get, with the motion, you're deriving all your power from your hips. And so we're using like the strongest thing that we have to power the ball. So for us to for women to adapt to by baseball, it's like, okay, well this isn't where we get most of our power in like a baseball pitch. You know what I mean?
But I will tell you my own experience, and this was just starting when I was coaching back in the early 80s, was we started having girls in Little League Baseball, and they were utterly dominant female players in our 10 to 12-year-old league. And now, like when you watch the Little League World Series, there's girls on the teams that make it all the way to the final
girl
championships.
from Philadelphia who was the
yeah,
pitcher.
right. She was the star of the year that year.
So you're in favor, if you want to play baseball and you can make it, great, but softball is fantastic for a lot of. Now I played
coming from a perspective of a pitcher, it makes more sense. It's it's a better use of my body. But I think that you want to play. My dad actually signed me up for boys, like t-ball with boys.
I played
baseball when I started, but I wouldn't do it because I didn't want to be around boys.
I played farm league and started little league as a female with boys, and I didn't really note it. I didn't know it was going to be an issue in the 70s. I was just kind of a mouthy kid. And I was terrible.
I don't believe you.
It's true. And I was terrible, but that is not because I am a woman. It is because I am just terrible at most sports.
At sports?
Yes, at sporting. So it's not really so much that it's breaking a barrier to play baseball. It's better for a lot of women. They would rather play softball.
Well, I mean, it is if we don't have women playing, Major League Baseball, and we don't even have women umpires. I mean, there's been one or two or something.
Yeah, that's not exactly true. There have been a couple but just recently.
Yeah,
and they were they quit, right? Because they were shunned from the league. People were so horrible to them. So I mean, I guess you can't ignore sexism in sports, and I don't know. I think it would be awesome to see more women umpires. Even,
I believe we just had the first female NFL referee last year.
Yes,
if I'm
we did.
remembering correctly.
So it's probably that seems likely to me. So I just wanted to get back to this League of Their Own thing because it was obviously pretty influential. Have you ever listened to the speech where he does no crying in baseball without watching the movie? We did that on an episode. It's haunting.
Oh no!
Yeah,
why?
It's just because I don't know. It's so funny when you're watching the movie. But when you're just listening to it without the context, it just sounds like an alcoholic dad, yelling at his family who can't get out of the house. It just sounds very
Yeah, the only thing worse than that, like that's more opposite of what you expected, was Kevin Costner's speech in Bull Durham, which was really not how you remember it.
No, he's just saying cock over and over again.
Right.
You're like, oh my God, this is an assault. This isn't
And it's
sexy.
like this famous, you know,
People had it on posters.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
Do you think I feel like Kevin Costner has like a soft uncle face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when he says things, you're like, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's just,
right.
You know.
Yeah.
We have context. And then, but when you listen to some of these famous baseball movie speeches without watching the movie along with it, haunting is the word I'm going to go with again. Haunting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I really want to watch Bull Durham.
Yeah. You should watch Bull Durham because it's one of the great sports movies, and there's a lot of funny lines in it that may or may not have anything to do with Kevin Costner. So it's
awesome.
It's an excellent movie. All right, guys. Is there anything else that we got for Emily before we let her go? Any other burning softball questions?
What was the score of that game? Did you...
Of which game?
The game we just played. What was the score?
No, we didn't have like a normal...
It was a very existential game.
It was an existential game. I was trying to something different.
Look at Lewis's eyes. He's furious.
Everyone won.
Lewis likes to keep
He hates
score.
these games with no rules.
Yeah, he does. It was more of an exploration of ideas, which is why I probably was not that good at sports. Well, Emily, what are you going to be doing comedy-wise coming up?
Oh boy, a whole lot of nothing. I just got some shows in New York coming up that are just regular old, you know. Boy, I'm really not selling this.
Hey, you're a New York comedian doing New York shows. It sounds fancy to us.
Right.
Yeah, but I just went on tour in the Midwest, and it was like so fun because they were like, oh, you can do, you know, here, do 20 minutes, do 25 minutes. And I was like, thank you. And then you get back here, and they're like, you went 10 seconds over on your 7-minute set. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh gosh,
you know?
it's like
it's like
dysfunctional relationship of some kind. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like back to getting treated like shit every day, which is fine.
Yeah, well,
which is totally fine. So I'm here for a while.
All right.
Yes. Hey,
hey, Emily, we think you're great.
Oh, thank you. Drew, it was so good to meet you. I am very sorry I did not say hello to you.
Oh, was that at me? Oh, thank you.
All right, Emily. Well, thank you so much. We really enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.
I really enjoyed Emily's voice. She had a fun voice.
She has a fun voice. Yes, she does. All right, folks, that's going to wrap things up. You can download all our episodes at iTunes, Stitcher, or YouTube. And thank you, Mr. Bishop, for taking us out with the jazz trumpet stylings of Mr. Al Hurt.